Hello viewers, in today's experiment we are going to learn the detection of extra elements in organic compounds. As you know that organic compounds mainly contain carbon and hydrogen, but along with these two elements some other elements like nitrogen, sulfur, halogens, phosphorus or arsenic etc. are also present, and these elements other than carbon and hydrogen are called extra elements. For detection of the functional group of any organic compound, we first need to know that what extra elements are present in it. In our today's experiment, we will learn that how can we show the presence of nitrogen and sulfur in any organic compound. As you know that our organic compounds are having covalent bonds between different atoms, means if nitrogen or sulfur are present in any form in any functional group, they are joined to carbon through covalent bonds. And in order to make them water soluble, so that we are able to test them, we need to break this organic compound, so that these can be converted into ionic compounds, they become water soluble and we can test them. For that we need to treat the compounds with sodium metal. Sodium metal reacts with the organic compounds, and if nitrogen is present then it gets converted into cyanide ion. If sulfur is present then it gets converted into sulphide ion, and if our compound contains both nitrogen and sulfur then thiocyanate ion are also formed. These are all water soluble, and then we can test these ions in the aqueous medium. For converting these into ionic compounds, as I said earlier, we treat them with sodium metal. Rather we use the word fuse, we heat it at such a high temperature with sodium metal that they melt, react together, covalent bond break, and they get converted into ionic compounds. The extract that we get is called sodium fusion extract, or better it is called Lessens extract. For the preparation of Lessens extract, we have to use a small tubes which are called fusion tubes. The other apparatus and chemicals that we will be using: test tubes, funnel for filtration, the sodium metal which is cut into small pieces, we will be using forceps, pair of tongs, china dish, wire gauze, droppers, then we need burner, tripod stand, etc. In first part of this experiment, we are going to use urea as a sample, because urea is a compound that contains nitrogen as extra element. Now, how do we perform this experiment? I will show it step by step. In the first step, what we have done, we have cut the sodium metal into small pieces and have kept in the kerosene. Sodium metal is not kept open, it is always kept by dipping in paraffin oil or kerosene oil. These are the small pieces of sodium metal. For carrying out the experiment, we take out one small piece of sodium metal with the help of this forceps, put it over filter paper, and then we just rub it, so that any kerosene oil which is sticking to the surface of sodium metal is removed. Then we put this into the fusion tube. Here you can see this sodium piece is there in the fusion tube. Now, we have to heat this sodium metal so that it melts. So, for that we will be using burner. See, now in this fusion tube we have this small piece of sodium, we hold it with this tongs pair, we heat it slowly to melt the sodium into a shining globule. Yes, this is shining globule has been formed. Now, we put a small amount of our organic compound over it. The organic compound should be put immediately, we should not allow this sodium to cool, and then again we heat it. Initially we heat it slowly, and then we heat it strongly till this tube becomes red hot. After this red hot tube, we have to add into about 10 ml of distilled water which is kept in the china dish. I have already taken here this 10 ml of distilled water in it, and it has to be covered with this wire gauze, because if there is any unreacted sodium in it, then it will immediately react with water and it may explode. Now, it is tube is red hot, we put it and immediately cover it with the wire gauze. Normally, when we put these red hot tubes into this cold water, they break, but if sometimes you find that any tube has not broken, then you can break this tube with the help of a clean spatula or with the help of a glass rod. We just push it like this, so that it gets broken. Then it is to be boiled. So, what we have done till now, that we have taken a clean small piece of sodium metal in a fusion tube, we melted it and then allowed it to react with the organic compound, and then we put it into distilled water. As I said, we repeat it at least 2 times, so that fusion gets complete, sufficient concentration of ions is formed and we can easily test them. What we get, we call it as a Lessons extract. This is solution is heated, so that these ions get dissolved into water. We just let it boil for 2 minutes and then we filter it. In the meantime, now we keep our filtration set ready. We have poured filter paper in this funnel and we will collect this Lessons extract in this beaker. Move the burner, and by holding this, now this is the Lessons extract, it is ready. In this first experiment, what we had done, we had taken urea, and we know that urea contains only nitrogen as the extra element. So, we will test for nitrogen in this Lessons extract. For this, we take about 10 drops of this Lessons extract in a test tube. Add few crystals of solid ferrous sulphate. So, we will add few crystals of solid ferrous sulphate, slightly warm it, and then we acidify it with dilute sulphuric acid. And we find that on acidification, immediately this Prussian blue color is formed. Formation of this Prussian blue color confirms the presence of nitrogen. Now, what has actually happened? The nitrogen that was present in the organic compound on reaction with sodium metal has been converted into cyanide ion. When we add ferrous sulphate, that is ferrous ions, they form ferrocyanide, and when we acidify and warm it, some of the ferrous ions get oxidized into ferric ions, and this Prussian blue, that is ferrocyanide, is formed. So, formation of this blue color confirms the presence of nitrogen in any organic compound. Now, second compound that we will take is the one which contains nitrogen and sulfur both, and for that we have taken thiourea. In order to save the time, we have already prepared the Lessons extract of thiourea, and now we will carry out the test with that one. Now, again from this Lessons extract, in order to test for nitrogen, we take about 10 drops of this extract in a test tube. Now, in this test tube, we have taken this 10 drops of this Lessons extract, and we will test first nitrogen in this. For testing nitrogen, again we add few crystals of solid ferrous sulphate, warm it, and then we acidify it with dilute sulphuric acid. We find that we have obtained this blue color. So, formation of blue color confirms that this compound contains nitrogen, and we have already discussed that why this blue color is being formed. So, now we have tested for nitrogen in this Lessons extract. We do not need the burner anymore. So, let us put it off, and then we perform the test for sulfur. See, for sulfur again we take few drops of the Lessons extract, about 10 drops, and then add to it 1 drop of sodium nitroprusside solution, and we get a purple color. In order to compare the color of the sodium nitroprusside, let us take few drops of sodium nitroprusside in a separate test tube. Now, you can compare. This is the color of the sodium nitroprusside solution, and this is the color that we have obtained after adding sodium nitroprusside to the Lessons extract, and this is purple color. This is different from this, and formation of this purple color confirms the presence of sulfur in the given organic compound. Next, we perform another test for the presence of sulfur. For this also we take few drops of Lessons extract and we acidify it with acetic acid. We add 3-4 drops of acetic acid, and then we add 2 drops of this lead acetate solution. Addition of this lead acetate solution forms a black precipitate. This black precipitate is of lead sulphide. So, this also confirms the presence of sulfur in the given organic compound. So, formation of these black particles that you can see, that is black precipitate, is due to the formation of lead sulphide. So, this confirms the presence of sulfur in the given organic compound. As I said earlier, that if our compound contains nitrogen and sulfur both, then small amount of thiocyanate ion is also formed, and we can test whether in this case has been formed or not. But if presence of thiocyanate ion can be shown, it further confirms that in the given compound nitrogen and sulfur both are present as extra element. The test for thiocyanate involves that again we take about 10 drops of the Lessons extract, we acidify it with hydrochloric acid, and then we add 2 drops of this ferric chloride solution. Formation of this red color, that indicates the presence of thiocyanate ion. So, we can confirm now that in this compound nitrogen and sulfur both are present as extra element. So, in our today's experiment we have learned that how can we test the presence of nitrogen and sulfur in any organic compound. The first step involves the preparation of Lessons extract. For that, organic compound is to be treated with sodium metal. We get the aqueous extract in that case, and then we test for nitrogen. The test for nitrogen involves the addition of a small amount of solid ferrous sulphate followed by acidification with dilute sulfuric acid. Formation of a blue color confirms the presence of nitrogen. We perform 2 tests for sulfur. One, with the Lessons extract, if we add sodium nitroprusside, we get a purple color, and the second is that Lessons extract on acidification with acetic acid followed by addition of lead acetate gives a black precipitate of lead sulphide. And in order to test the nitrogen and sulfur both together, we acidify the Lessons extract with dilute HCl, and then we add few drops of ferric chloride. We get the formation of reddish color that confirms the presence of nitrogen and sulfur. Now, after doing this experiment, you can think over some of the questions, that why sodium metal is kept in kerosene oil, why we are using solid ferrous sulphate or a freshly prepared solution of ferrous sulphate, why the solution of sodium nitroside that we prepare should be fresh. So, think over these questions, and I think now after performing this experiment, you have understood that how we can test nitrogen and sulfur in the given organic compound.